Georgia Congressman Mike Collins. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. We understand Appalachian High School is in your district. We can't even imagine what your community is going through right now. How are you all holding up?
Well, it is, and I appreciate you having me on. And the reason I think people are holding up is because they have a strong faith in God, and prayers are being lifted up. And I just encourage everybody out there, please, just continue to pray for those that didn't get to make it home yesterday, and those that are injured. It's times like this that your faith really comes into play.
It was heartbreaking to watch your local law enforcement there in Barrow County speak yesterday. The sheriff saying this was a situation he could have never imagined. But from what we're hearing, law enforcement did everything right, responding within minutes and apprehending the shooter, taking him into custody alive. And we're also hearing stories of heroism happening inside those walls yesterday. What can you tell us about the response and how more lives were saved because of the quick actions of those on scene?
Yeah, well, and Georgia has been preparing, and I know the state of Georgia has been providing money for school systems to improve their security. And from what I understand, I think more is going to come out today that the resource officer did a great job in contacting and helping local law enforcement identify where this shooter was and apprehending him. That being said, that this type of evil, as the sheriff put it, and he is a good man. We're not going to let that prevail. We're not going to let that win at the end of the day. J.D. Vance said it right. We have too much violence, too much gun violence in our schools and in our country, and we need to address that.
What are parents and people in the community saying to you? I know you've probably been speaking to them throughout the last half of a day. What have they been saying?
Well, everybody's grieving. Everybody's looking at this situation and wondering what's going on, and thank goodness, we've got the resources there to help them. We're going to continue to monitor this as well, and make sure that our local law enforcement and the people of the 10th district understand that we're here for them and we have the ability to help them in situations, and we're going to do that. So, it's a raw moment right now, and it's still very, very raw.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I know this was happening yesterday as Kamala Harris was holding a rally in New Hampshire. So, of course, she stopped speaking off the teleprompter there and she spoke to the Georgia shooting, going off script. Take a listen.
This is just a senseless tragedy on top of so many senseless tragedies. And it's just outrageous that every day in our country, in the United States of America, that parents have to send their children to school worried about whether or not their child will come home alive. I'm going off script right now, but listen, I mean, at the last year, I started a college tour, and I traveled our country meeting with our young leaders, right? And so it was college-age young leaders. So I did trade schools, colleges, universities, community colleges. By the way, I love Gen Z. I just love Gen Z.
Congressman, a bit tone deaf. She goes off script there. She's making it about her. She's giving pause for people to laugh in the audience. All she needed to do was offer condolences. As you have said this morning, it hasn't even been 24 hours yet. Everyone is grieving. Where were the condolences?
Yeah, I think it just goes to show that the politics on that administration, even from the White House's statement, has nothing to do with people. It's just they're going to continue to push an agenda. It's not the right agenda. It's actually, in my opinion, not the right time to talk about what we see out there, even though I do have an opinion and see a lot of violence going on throughout this country that is condoned, and people are actually pushing it, and we've got to get past that. We've got to get back to God in this country, and we have really gotten away from that from a moral standpoint. So there's a lot of issues out there. She is dead wrong, and to bring that up at this time is just not the right timing.
Not the time for politics at all. Time for prayer. Congressman, thank you.
That's it. Thank you for having me.